November and welcome back to my channel. Very sorry for not uploading in a very long time, but at the end of this video I'm gonna give a quick little update as to where I've been, what I've been up to, how has the farmers market been going for me, because I still am working in the farmers market, several farmers markets actually. And but anyways, this video, as you can tell by the title, is a November garden tour. So I'm just gonna take you around my garden. This might be a little longer than usual because there are a lot of new things that I've been up to. So let's just get this video started. There's Beck. Say hi, Beck. Say hi. Alright, so here, starting on my patio area. This is kind of like a newish little area. I just set this little area up with some pumpkins. We actually grew these this year. And then over on this side, these are where some of my sunflower microgreens are. I have the shade cover on them because I don't want them to get too tall because they will lose the flavor. So I'm just going to make my way around the back, and if you guys remember, my back garden is that way. So I'm just going to cruise by this area and show you what's going on over here. So I just planted out this planter. Over the past couple of months, haven't planted anything here. This is all just a self-sown bed with the beans. These scarlet runner beans are coming back for the third time after cutting them to the base. I put that aloe right there. That tomato plant is a volunteer. There's some echinacea right here. And then over here on this side where Curly is some mint. I propagated some mint plants. So that's kind of cool. It looks like it's actually working, so I'm excited about that. And then over here in this area, I potted up these little aloe vera plants last week. They seem to be doing good. Fiddle leaf fig. This is the Plumeria. And Curly is munching on something there. Shouldn't be munching on. Come on. Aloe vera. I just planted this mint here, and probably I need to put some other things here. Maybe I'll put some brassicas or something like that. And then here is our orange tree. And again, I have no clue what variety of orange this is. This orange tree was here when we moved in, but I've pruned it over the past about 2 years. I need to actually prune it again. But it's so heavy, as you can see, this branch is falling over because it's just loaded down with fruit. This has never happened before, which is awesome. So there's just lots of fruit. They're starting to turn orange, which is great. I just fertilized everything, so if it's wet everywhere, that is why, because we're gonna get some rain later on in the week. And I need to fertilize. So down here are some paper whites. Paper whites are a bulb, and they come back every fall and spring, and they'll actually bloom. Every fall and winter, and they'll actually bloom in the winter time. Got my strawberry planter. And then over here is a newly planted area with some curly kale and Swiss chard. And then in the middle here, I actually put some radishes, so we'll see how that does. Over here, I've got pepper plants that are still thriving. The varieties are bell pepper, serrano, and jalapeno. There's a hummingbird back there. I don't know if you guys can see it. He's right there. I have a feeder back here, so they watch this place very closely. So right here are some of my microgreens. These are all peas, organic peas. On the bottom there, that is broccoli. And then right here is some more peppers. That is some lettuce that I started from seed. So we'll see how that goes. These are buckwheat microgreens. And then this one is overgrown buckwheat, so I'll just use this for home use. And then down here below me These are harvested worm castings that I just pulled out of my worm bin. Let's see what's going on in there. A little bit of activity. This is a kale plant here. And then on the bottom underneath are some Swiss chard that I started from seed. And then over here I've got a tomato plant. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it's still alive, so. And then I also put some lettuce here, but I think the slugs got to it, so I need to either plant something else or resow it or do something. And then this is a new addition to the garden. This is a passion fruit vine. I bought it when it was only a couple of inches high, and it's now about 5 feet. So what I want it to do is I want it to go across my fence here. I want it to grow here. So that's kind of why I planted it right there, but it looks healthy-ish. I just fertilized it, so hopefully that'll help out. And then over here in this bed, and this bed, everything here started from seed. So these are all kale plants, and in between the rows, those little baby seedlings you'll see, that's all lettuce. And I really need to cover these guys up with some row cover because the birds love these seedlings. So yeah, same thing, cabbage and kohlrabi, various kales. And then right here this is all planted out with lettuce. Behind me against the wall, these are all seedlings. Some are healthier than others. I really have to pay attention close to my brassica seedlings because the cabbage looper this year has been pretty aggressive. So and I don't spray my seedlings, so everything I have to just watch myself with and just pay really close attention to. These are some dill seedlings I'm very happy with. I used to have a problem with growing dill, but it seems to be doing good now. And then down here, I'm kind of excited about this. This is some geranium cuttings I took off my geranium plant. This is the citronella plant. This is great for keeping away mosquitoes. So I took some cuttings, so in the springtime they'll be ready to plant. Then over here are some collard seedlings. And then these are my leftover microgreens from this week that I didn't sell. So what I'll do is I'll basically just harvest these and I'll give them away to some friends, or I'll just eat them, or if I can't give them away or eat them, the worms will eat them. This is some pretty spent buckwheat. And then over here, this is the composter. It is absolutely filled. Leftover microgreens. It's filled to the top. It's filled all the way up. And then on top here, I've got tomatoes. These tomatoes, they self-seeded themselves in my garden. They came up. So what I did is I just went through my garden and I basically digged them up, and then I put them in these little containers here with some soil, and they're doing great. I really don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna put them in the ground or try to overwinter them. I'm really not sure, but I don't know, I just couldn't kill them, so I'm keeping them alive for now. And then over here, oops, sorry for my shadow, it's really bright and sunny today. This is all celery. So celery and this basil, it's been living for almost 3 years now. So all I do is I just pinch out the top when I see that the flowers are gonna come in. So I just pinch it out. Like this little flower right here, I'll just pinch that off. And you can eat that part, it's delicious. And then this is some more celery. And then kale, which is more like tree kale by now. It's really, really tall. And then the lemon tree, which is just going wild. Now this lemon tree is pretty loaded with lemons too. They're really small right now, but there are some more mature ones, like this one right here, which is almost ripe. And then down on the bottom here is my mint bed, and I know they say not to put mint in the ground, so I put it in this raised bed so it has this whole space right here to sprawl out. And then I'm going to swing around. This is one of my stands for my microgreens. There's the hummingbird feeder. I make my own hummingbird food. I'll leave the recipe in the description below. And then this bed right here is all celery. Now this variety is called Golden Heirloom Celery. I buy my own transplants from a local nursery. And then there's just various things that pop up in here from the soil, like nasturtiums. I still got some Swiss chard in here. That's just doing great. I just leave it, you know. And that is it for the back garden. I'm gonna try to cover up the sun right there for you guys, but it's quite sunny. Just gonna pan around. Now that is my, these two are shelves for microgreens. And the reason why I'm using this green shade cloth right here is because it gets sometimes too sunny and I don't want my microgreens to get too tall. So I'll use a shade cloth as need be. And then also if it rains, this actually helps to keep some of the rain out. Alright you guys, so now I'm gonna go to the side garden, which is probably my favorite garden here at home. So I'm gonna go show you guys what's growing on over there. So just a quick little pit stop. This is where I wash all of my vegetables, microgreens, and keep a lot of my microgreen seeds and soil. There's some bags of soil right there. And I know it doesn't look that organized, but this is as organized as it can get right now. But I just try to keep it nice and tidy and clean so I know exactly where everything is. So I just wanted to show you guys real quickly. This is an area of my front garden, and what we did is we basically just took out part of the grass so we can have a boxwood hedge border, and then plant some seasonal annuals and herbs and things like that. So we've got echinacea and salvia I planted, and basil's actually still doing okay. And then for the winter time, I planted some pansies. They're doing great. Okay, so here is a view of my side garden, and then I'm going to go around, walk around, and show you guys in detail what's growing on over here. So in the first bed here, I've got nasturtiums. This is all mainly Swiss chard here. I love growing Swiss chard. It's very easy to grow, and the pests pretty much leave it alone. They are susceptible to aphids, but I've got a lot of nasturtiums around here that the aphids go to the nasturtiums, not to the Swiss chard. And in this bed, I've grown many different types of vegetables, but I've just let the nasturtiums self-seeded themselves, and they've came back. Especially this beautiful variegated variety. And then this is celery. And this bed is just all nasturtiums and celery, which I don't mind. The blueberries have lost their leaves. And then in this bed I've got oregano. So this is oregano right here. And then this is a Swiss chard, nasturtiums. And then in this bed I've got this is like a more Swiss chard here. This is the kale that is about 4 years old now, I want to say. And then more lettuce. This is lettuce. This is more mature. And then these are all nasturtiums that have popped up. And then going around here is a yellow pear, but I think it's coming to the end of its life now. We'll see. And then over here on this side, I just put lettuce seeds in here, and they're doing great. I just watered, so everything's kind of like flopped over. And then the kale from last year. This bed's all full with lettuce greens. And then whatever just popped up from seed, like there's a lot of fennel and dill and mustard greens, which I love. There is the butterfly and bee garden. More kale. And then the Luffa Gourd. This is new for me this year. I was gonna tear this Luffa Gourd out. Sorry for the loud background noise, I do live in a city. I was gonna tear this Luffa Gourd out, but then I started getting loofah. And I was like, nope, I'm just gonna leave this until it dies from the frost, which won't be until probably February. It's still getting flowers. There's actually a praying mantis around here somewhere, but I think he's hiding right now. He's somewhere on top. I'm not sure. Gone all the way up the house. And then there's another loofah right there. You guys can see it right there. So I have about maybe 4 or 5 on the vine right now. And then this bed down here, it's all lettuce. And then there's some herbs on the edges, like chives and sage. And then more lettuce right here. And I did put lettuce right here, but it's not coming up, so I'm gonna give it a few more weeks and see if I could still plant anything here. If not, I'm gonna put something sturdier right there, like Swiss chard or kale. And then the butterfly and bee garden has just done really, really well this year. Haven't seen any monarch caterpillars, but I think they're in there. I've just let it gone wild so that the insects are really attracted to it. And I see praying mantises out here every single day, which is great. And then down below here, this little area, I've actually added, this is a new, really new addition. This is a worm bin I got from one of my friends who farms worms, and he actually gave me a lot of worms. So they're in there breaking down some microgreens, and I planted some Swiss chard right here. It's looking really, really healthy. And then right here is actually African blue basil, which is a great perennial here in zone 10B. And all I'm gonna do here is just, again, same with this kind of basil, we want to take the flowers off. And then I added a little bird bath right here for the insects and for the birds, and I've already seen them using it. I put a little rock right here, so if anything falls in there and they can't get out, they can climb up on that and fly away. Hey everybody, I'm here at my second garden, and here it is here. And I'm just going to do a quick little walkthrough because there's a lot of background noise, and I'm just going to show you guys what I'm growing here. Okay, so what I've got growing here mainly is 2 things. I've got lettuce is number 1, and number 2, I'm growing radishes. So I just fertilize everything I know you're not supposed to fertilize radishes, but the lettuce really needed to be fertilized because it's losing some of its greenness from the rain we've had. But anyways, I've got French breakfast radishes grown in between. This right here is like an Asian mix, so if it gets bigger, then I can cut it and keep cutting it several times. So this is the what I was growing in these beds, and the ones back there, I was actually growing tomatoes. All of these beds were filled with tomatoes, and I got such a large, huge crop of tomatoes this year. The largest I've ever had. And then this starts the lettuce mix. It's almost ready to harvest, and then I'm succession sowing it, so you'll see a little bit and more of an example of that down there. And yeah, this is some of the mix. You can see some of the like bok choy starting to grow. And then let's walk down here. Okay, so in total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 13 beds total. Alright, so what's growing in these beds is lettuce, and these are the younger seedlings here, and then this is the older seedling, and in the middle I have watermelon radishes. So it's pretty much the same in each bed. I've got lettuce planted that this is all I started from seed. I put the seeds back in August, I believe. And then the radishes in the middle. These radishes aren't doing that great, so I'll probably pull those out and put some new seeds of lettuce in there. So this is the more mature lettuce, and then the younger lettuce right beside it. And we've been getting some fairly warm days, so the lettuce is still germinating quite nicely. And then this is the basil plant I started from seed, and it's doing great. I interplanted some basil here when the tomatoes were growing, and this one survived, and I want to keep it here because it's so healthy, you know. But it looks great, smells great. And here's a smaller one. It's not taking off as much because it's not getting as much sun as that one over there, but it's surviving. Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've given you any garden tours, but I kind of just wanted to show you guys what's going on in the month of November here at my community garden. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys what's growing. Okay, so here on my first plot, I've got 4 rows. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll see a lot of the same things growing throughout this video. So I've got lots of kale, dino kale, more dino kale, and then below it I've got radishes growing. And then I still got some tomatoes actually. They're green. So these I must have put in maybe late August. I don't remember. Oh, here's the sun. It looks really pretty. Then I'll walk back here. This is a cabbage that I just cut the tops off and harvested, and they're coming back again, which is awesome. Yeah, this kale is so healthy here. It's got some aphids, but I've just released some ladybugs, about 1,000, so hopefully they'll take care of that. Some more tomatoes. This is the sun gold variety right here. And then Swiss chard, nasturtiums, zucchini, which I'm still getting. These are the tree collards. Very, very healthy. He's got some holes in him, but nevertheless, they're super healthy. And then I've got some radish seeds planted there. This is all Swiss chard. Swiss chard does great for me at the farmer's market. I always sell out. More zucchini. And then here's my second plot. I just planted some radish seeds here. This is the kale's second year here. It looks kind of wild, but I'm still able to harvest off of it, which is great. So again, here I have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the corner. So this row is all kale. This row is kale interplanted with radishes. And more radishes should be popping up here. Nasturtiums. This is more purple kale, which I find is very, very productive for me. I just love this kale. And then right here in the bottom, I put some lettuce seeds. So that's like a mix, lettuce mix. And then I am mulching with cardboard, which is great. Really, really suppresses the weeds. Does a great job at doing that. And then I've got my garlic planted here. You can see little bits of it. Kale, again, radishes, kale, onions. I've got onions here. And then you'll see some radishes. They're actually starting to germinate. If I cover those up a little bit. So this is just all onions, a little patch of oregano. Hey everybody, so I thought I would just sit down with you guys, and I've made myself a little cup of chai tea. One of my aunts brought over some organic chai tea, so thought I'd try it out. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update since I've sadly neglected my channel since I've been starting to work the farmer's market. So let me just take a quick sip and get into the update. It's good. So what I've basically been doing for work is I've been growing my vegetables, herbs, and mainly microgreens to sell at the farmer's market. And I started that in August of, I want to say, I think it was either May or August of 2018. So it's been over a year now, and I absolutely love it. I love working the farmer's market. It was very difficult in the beginning to get that confidence, you know, to just sell. And basically when you're working a farmer's market, you are everything all at once. You know, you're a salesperson, you know, you have to know your product, you know, you have to know, you know, how to give change back, and, you know, and set up the booth, and, you know, you have to have the right certificates and signage. And each farmer's market that you work, there are different requirements from the company that's running the farmer's market or the managers. And you know, it took me a while to really just adjust to working to farmers markets and actually seeing what people wanted and what they don't want, and, you know, the prices, and you know, and but despite all of the challenges that the farmers market has you know, thrown my way, I still love it.
I still love gardening. I still love growing things. And that was a really big question that I still get and got in the very beginning is, if you're going to make your, a business out of growing food, are you going to still love it? And the answer to that now is yes, absolutely. I still love growing food. I still love it. I'm always going to love it. I'm a gardener for life. And I know a lot of you gardeners out there that are friends with me and follow me. We all have that in common. I think once you discover that you have a green thumb, you are a gardener for life. Whether you're farming a huge piece of land or you're on a patio, you want to grow everything. I don't know if that makes sense, but and because I've been busy with working farmers markets, I haven't been able to film any videos, but that is a legitimate excuse because I know I have friends that also work farmers markets and they upload YouTube videos. I haven't found that balance, that really good balance yet to be uploading videos on a regular basis, but I definitely want to try to upload some shorter videos. I think that would make more sense for me, just to give you guys quick little updates and things like that. But I do like doing the garden vlogs. I like to show you guys what I'm doing on a daily basis, whether I'm starting seeds or potting something up, or I want to do those videos still. And I also want to do how-to videos. I want to do videos about microgreens because I've been growing the microgreens now for probably 11 months now, or maybe a year it's been. And the reason why I got into growing microgreens is because when I was only taking vegetables to the farmer's market, I wasn't making enough money. So I started doing what other urban farmers are doing, which are growing and selling microgreens to people at the farmer's market. I have also sold to restaurants already, and I actually have a meeting, well, I plan to have a meeting soon with a potential restaurant client, so wish me luck there. Send me some good positive thoughts. That would be huge for me. So just kind of breaking out of my shell and putting my product out there to chefs and to restaurants and to companies that I never thought I could sell to before, is really going out of my comfort zone, and that's a lot of what working the farmer's market is to me right now. It's a lot of it is getting out of my comfort zone so I can be successful, and that's a lesson to a lot of things in life. But anyways, I'm trying to think of what other frequently asked questions I've had lately. One question I get asked a lot is working in a farmer's market my full-time job? And that is yes, that is my full-time job. And I know that it's not your average job. Yeah, I'm not working in an office or anything like that, but what goes on behind the scenes from a farmer's market to be ready for the farmer's market, for me, is a full-time job, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see at the farmer's market, and all of those things that go on before the farmer's market is the reason why I can take things to the farmer's market, because I'm watering, I'm sowing the seeds, I'm washing the flats on a weekly basis, I'm buying soil on a weekly basis, I'm taking inventory of my seeds, there's all these things, and on top of that I'm taking care of 3 different garden locations, and I'm debating on whether or not I want to start a 4th one. I've had help. I've had one person come and help me out, but right now I'm currently working 2 farmers markets. What I've learned from other farmers and other vendors at market is that the fall and the winter season is kind of the slower season. This is my 2nd year selling at the farmer's market in the fall and winter, so I can kind of already see that, so I'm planning for that. It doesn't mean I can't have a successful selling and growing season while it's cold. It just means that I need to get more creative with how I'm going to sell my things at the farmer's market. So one of the things I started doing was actually you know, cutting, washing, and pre-packaging my microgreens to take them to the farmer's market, and it's been a great success. You know, I made my own little labels that were really inexpensive, and I've had some success with that. But you know, I really need to push myself and introduce myself to some restaurants so that I can have a more consistent stream of income in the more I would say slower months, you know, which would probably be between now, November, until springtime. I always feel like you guys just seen all the clips from my garden. You see how everything is growing really nicely, and I grow between, on a weekly basis for microgreens, I grow anywhere from 40 to 50 flats on a weekly basis, and that's selling at 2 farmers markets. I'm on the waiting list for a 3rd farmers market. So once I work a 3rd farmers market, that would, you know, easily boost my microgreen flats up to 60 or 70 a week. It just depends on how much the 3rd market is in demand for microgreens. So I'm planning for that, you know, always planning ahead, but at the same time still taking care of what needs to be taken care of and growing with the season. Also, you know, this is the first time I've ever had a small business that I've owned, so working the numbers and budgeting and, you know, really only buying what I need, that's all new to me. You know, taxes and, you know, permits and certificates and having all the proper paperwork to sell at farmers markets, all that, you know, that was really new to me. And then still having a personal life and being there for family events and things like that, and you know, you guys all know life catches up with you, but I still really enjoy the YouTube community, and I hope to consistently upload. I still see that I'm still getting subscribers, so thank you so much, everybody that is new. Even though I haven't been consistent, like, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching my videos and for still supporting my channel. And I know some of you have asked, you know, where are you at and things like that, but you can follow me on my Instagram. I'm always posting stories on my Instagram. Pretty much every single day I post photos and videos of me at the farmer's market and what it looks like. So if you want to follow me and if you want to see more action of what I'm doing, I'll leave my Instagram somewhere here, and I'll also leave it in the link down below. And yeah, I'm just going to take a quick little clip of a new patch of my garden, which I'm calling the garage garden because it's literally right in front of my garage. And it's a patch of land that it's about, I want to say, maybe 20 feet long, around that, 15-20 feet long, and it's about 2 feet wide. And I've took out all the ground cover that was there. There was no production there. It was just weeds and things like that, and I tilled it up, and now I've got some things growing there. So before I end this video, I'm going to show you that clip. But thank you everybody for checking in with me and watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And, you know, just hang in with me. I know I may not be uploading videos, you know, every single week, but I'm gonna do the best that I can. Happy gardening, everybody. I hope you have a safe holiday season, and thank you all for watching.
Alright, so this is the area where I just mentioned I tilled up. So I've got some radishes here. This variety is called China Rose radish. And then there's some lettuce that's coming up. It hasn't been that strong in germination because this is far from any hoses around here, so sometimes I do kind of procrastinate on watering this area. But I put some more radishes here, radish seeds, about a week ago, and they're starting to germinate, as you can see right here.